Quick testing. 1, 2. Test. All right, come on.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Good.
We're ready. So we're ready.
Live?
Yeah, we're live.
Good. Shalom, Israel. With ICPK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Start off 1969. I'm commanding Junior Yohana, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We ain't affiliated with any of these other Israelite groups or any of these groups out here. We ain't African, we're not Muslim, we are the 12 tribes of Israel, the greatest people that ever walked this earth, man. We're not, what we are is anywhere from Judah all the way to Issachar. We're teaching a Sabbath service class, so we invite you to check in to Greenville, South Carolina area. The Sabbath service class, we're going to go over some things here and get you people involved. If you have any questions in the chat, put them in there. We're on I believe we're doing the same thing, only a greater version of it. What's the title of it we have here?
Oh, where is the glory?
Where is the glory? All right. We good?
All right.
All right. Madyam means to stand, all to stand. State your registry.
Nayar, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashal.
Nayar, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashal.
Yahweh Bashim Al Shabrakathon.
Yahweh Shem Yashab Brakatah.
Let's blow the horn. We got the scrolls. The other way. There we go.
Sorry, Wapan Hakwi. Which means turn to face. These in Hebrew. It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Sabashamaya, Wadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malataka, Taba'ah, Radazaika, Haya, Asha, Baharataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan, Nanawa, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalakino, Kabawatino, Kasalakino, Kabawatino, Wala'ah, Tabayayino, Wanasaiwan, Abo, Hayashayano, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahataparth, Wahalayam, Aman.
We say in Hebrew, we say in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
in the
earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever.
So be it. So Hakak the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kasha, Nathanawa, Hakak, Lapa'ah, Kamalaka, Wakamarawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazarium, Hakak, Lahakwia, Hamathium, Hakak, Ara Aqua, Hamata'ala, Lagarsha, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, the water, Aman.
We say in Hebrew, we say in English. Lord, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power, power to heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, power to cleanse the lepers, power to raise the dead, power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you.
So be it. Just bless Israel. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Barakanawa, Wayashala, Wahabayan, Saparium, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magan, Hagan, all of Israel,
all of Israel,
all of Israel,
all of Israel, all of Israel,
all of Israel,
Commanding General Yohanan,
Commander Jeniana,
all of the generals,
all the generals,
all of the captains,
all the captains,
all of the officers,
all the officers,
all of the troopers,
all the troopers,
all of the young men,
all the young men,
all of the women
all
and children,
all the women and children,
and the ISUPK,
and the ISUPK. By Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the water, Amen.
What we said in Hebrew, we said in English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
bless us
bless
and Israel,
and Israel,
and the school.
and the school.
Bless Hill Shield and protect.
Bless Hill Shield and protect
our loved ones.
our loved ones.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. So Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Anyanya, Oh, Ahorim, Mahayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ai, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Waharatazah, Ayatan, Namawat, Ragogu, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shabamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Ayai, Yamyanka, Yamamam, Hasamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Marco Rai, Yashamar, Athnabashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Aka, Waba Aka, Ma'aita, Wa'aid, Awalam.
What we said in Hebrew, we said in English. I lift up my eyes, to the hills, from which cometh my help.
From which cometh my
help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Who made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and
Do
earth.
not suffer thy foot to be moved.
Do not suffer thy foot to be
He that
moved.
keepeth thee, keepeth not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel,
He that keepeth Israel,
neither slumber nor sleep.
neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord's thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Sun shall not smite thee
nor
by
the
day,
moon by night.
nor the moon by
The
night.
Lord shall preserve thee from all
The
evil.
Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out,
The Lord shall preserve thy going
and
out,
thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
This time forth,
This time forth,
and even evermore.
and even forevermore. To Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayo, Atamaya, Laka, Atakarash, Wa'al, Tashakwat, All, Kayahana, Awabayaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Alamaka, Yarmawa, Sawata, Wayata, Yatazawa, Altazapawayaka, Armawa, Lakawa, Wanakakida, Makawa, Wala'a, Yasakar, Sham Yasa'ala, Awada, Kaya, Yatazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Bariyath, Yakawatwa, Alahaya, Adawam, Wayashamaya, it's like Alayam, Wa'amaba, Wahagariam, Gabal, Wa'amawan, Wa'amalak, Palashath, Ain Yashabya, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Amayim, Hayawa, Zarawai, Nabananawat, Salah, Aishal, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kabadian, Banakal, Kwayash, One, Nashamadu, Bayan, Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, Na'adama, Shayatama, Nada, Yab, Mawa, Kairab, Wakazabah, Wakazabak, Wakazazal, Mana'ai, Kal Na Yasakamwa, Ashor, Armawa, Nashawashar, Lalawa, Ath, Nahawath, Alahaya, Shayatama, Gaya, it's like Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Daba'ayra, Wakalabaha, Dalahat, Haharium, Khan, Daradakna, Basa'ira, Wabasa, Wabaka, Dabalaham, Mala'ah, Panaham, Kwalawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahalawa, Yaida Ai, it's like Waya, Kapawa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, the Y, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahawa, Labatka, Ayawan, Alkal, Harataza.
What we said in Hebrew, we said in English. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Lo, thy enemies make a
They that
tumult.
hate thee.
They that hate
have lifted up their head. And taking crafty counsel against thy people.
Against thy
And
people.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against thy
They
hidden
have
ones.
said, Come, let us cut them
Let
off
us cut them
from
off.
being a
From
nation.
being a nation.
But the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in
may be
remembrance.
no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
They consulted
with
together.
one consent.
With one
They
consent.
have confederate against
They are
thee.
confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Edom.
Israelites,
Ishmaelites.
Moab,
Moab,
Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gebal,
Gebal,
Ammon,
Ammon,
Amalek,
Amalek,
Philistine,
Philistine,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur is also joined with them.
Ashur also joined
They
with
hope in the children of
They're
Lot.
hoping that
Salah,
Salah
do unto them,
Do unto them.
as to the Midianites,
The Midianites.
as to Syria,
That's the Syria.
as to Jabin,
As to
and
Jabin.
the brook of Kasan,
Kasan.
which perished at Endor.
Perished at
They
Endor.
became dung with the earth.
Became dung of the earth.
That make them nobles like the red,
Like the nose like a red.
like Ziad,
Like Ziad.
all the princes of Zabah,
Princes of
and
Zabah.
Zamuna,
And
who
Zamuna. Who
said,
said,
let us take to
let us
ourselves
take to
the
ourselves
house of God
House of
in
God
possession.
in possession.
Oh my
Oh
Yahweh,
my Yahweh.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel.
as a stone before the wind,
As a stubble for the
as
wind.
a fire that burnt the
As a
wood,
fire burns the
as a
wood.
flame that set the mountains on
As the
fire.
flame set the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute
So
them
persecute them
with that tempest,
with thy tempest.
and make them afraid
Make them
with
afraid
thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with
Fill their
shame,
faces with shame.
that they may seek thy
That they
name.
may seek thy name.
O
Oh
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
let them be
Let
confounded
them be confounded.
and troubled
And
forever.
trouble forever.
Let them be put to
Let them
shame
be put to
and
shame
perish,
and perish.
that men may
That
know
men may know
whose name
whose
alone
name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh
or the Most High
of the Most High
of all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sorry. Shabbat. You see it? What we got?
Got people checking in. Yeah. Sister Yasaria checking in for Fountain Inn.
Okay.
We have Officer Nayar checking in.
Uh-huh.
We have Kalatas out checking in for Sensibly.
Mm-hmm. Who else? That's it?
That's it so far.
Clap it up for him right there, right? How about Shem, how about Shai, Barak, down to all my brothers out there. And Yahweh Shema Alatha Hashem Yahweh Shai, to my sisters that checking in the class today. We're going to get started. We're going to be talking about what?
Where's your glory?
Where your glory at, man? Where'd it go?
Right.
And we're going to talk about that. So let's get to, especially in the light of Valentine's Day coming up, right?
Right.
Because ain't nothing glorious about that shit. Ain't nothing. I'm sorry. Ain't nothing glory about that, is it? And we're going to get into this here. We're going to get 7 verses. Y'all got any questions? We're going to talk about how Israel lost their glory. Right?
Right.
We're going to talk about how they lost the glory, because that's what we need to know right now, how we lose. You know, we're in a battle now.
Right.
To make sure we find our glory, man. To make sure we understand what glory is.
Right.
You know, and we're going to get into this. Give me 7 verses in the Hebrew, right?
That's right.
Where are we at?
We at 1 Samuel chapter 5.
Yeah, do that, and then we'll do some other things too. Go ahead. 1 Samuel chapter 5. Give me 7 verses. Keep them on 7. Then you read 7, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
1 Samuel chapter 5, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
In the Hebrew. Wapa Shah Yom Laquar Kawa Ath Awa Awawan Ha Ha Ha'al Hayam Waya Pay. I was like Haya Ba'a Hawa Ma'a. What I was like Ma'ab Mahaban. Like her eyes are her azar Ashad Wada. Ashad Wada. Verse 2. Haya Kwaka Wa Pala Shatham I Ara our one. I was like, yeah, our one.
Okay.
Ha ha Ha'al Hayam Ha'al Hayam Waya Ba'a Wa Athawa Bayat Daga Wa but God it's like Daga Wa Waya Taza Gawa it's like Athawa Atazal Daga One verse 3 Waya Shakam Wa Ash- Ashad Yadam. I was like Ashad Wayadam. Mama Kirath. Like what Wahani Wahana the guy the guy won uh, Nepal Lapa Nawa Awa Taza Lapa Ya Lapana Ya Awa Arawan Yahweh Waya Kwaka Wa I the guy won Waya Shabawa Atawa Lama Kawa Wa or something. Lama Kawa Ma oh Laka Lama Kawa Mawa verse 4 Waya Shaka Ma I mean Mawa Baba Kwa Mama Kawath Wa'a na Waha Naha the guy won na Nepal Lapa Nayawa Aratza Lapa Naya Ara Arawan Yahweh Wara Shah also Wara Asha Rawa Ash the guy won Washa the Ya Kapa Wat Yada Yada Yawa Ya Ya Kara the Wa Yath oh it's like Kaya Kara the Wath all Hama Pathan Rakwa the guy won Nashal oh no Nasha not Nashar Hala Yawa verse 5 Al Khan La'a Yada Wakawa Kahaniya the guy won Wakal Ya Haba Yawan I was like Haba Ayam Bayath the guy won Al Mapath Ka oh it's like Mapath Na the guy won uh but Baash the one I was like Baash the why I Haya Hayawan. Hayawam. Hazaha. Verse 6. Wathai Kabad. Yad. Yahweh. All. Ha'ashai. Wadam. Hadiyam. It's like Waya Sham. Waya Sham. Okay, Waya, yeah. Waya Sham. Waya Sham. It's like Waya. It's like Waya Sham. Yeah, Waya. I was like Waya. A thumb. But I palayum, but na kara pata karam karayum. I ashad worldwide. Ya I gaba wall kaba wall ya. Yeah. Kaba wall ya. Verse 7. Waya ra'awa. Anash anasha. Yeah. Anashya. Ashad Ashawad. Ashadawa. Kaya. Khan. Wa'ama. Wawa. La'a. Yashab. Ra. Awawan. Allah. Hayab. Hasharal. Ama Nawa. Kaya. Kwasha Daya. Kwasha. Yadawa. Allah Yanawa. Wa'al. The God one. Allah Haya Nawa.
All right. Where we at? Get before you read that. Go to we remember go to 1 Samuel 4:17.
Okay.
And then we'll get back caught up there. We're in 1 Samuel 14. We're going to show you. Last week we read. We got more people in chat there. What we got?
We got Sister Sharad River Captain Notazad checking in. And we also have Sister Raya River Ashayala checking in from Oklahoma.
Okay, let's clap it up for the sisters. And how Shamala thought by how shy to my sisters, man. You know, we got sisters checking in all the way from Oklahoma, and sisters, Sister Captain Sharad and Raya checking in, and that's cool. And that's what we're doing here. We're not Sabbath services. We're gonna show you when we got no glory. You need to understand what we're saying, and we're going to get into that. You know, last week we read where Israel was on the verge of losing their Ark of the Covenant. Right?
That's right.
And those two evil, we're going to call them sons of Eli, right?
Right.
The Bible called them Belial. That means they were basically bad.
Right.
It's like you have prophets in your camp, or actually kicked out of your camp, or just basically it's almost like they shouldn't be in the camp.
Right.
You know, Hophni and Phinehas were sons of Eli, man. Eli was a prophet. These were Levites of the Lord that took care of the lambs and the goats and for the sacrifice of offerings. So for your sins, for your daily sacrifices of sin, man. Right. And even once a year. And what were they doing? You remember the sons of Hophni and Phinehas? The sons of Eli? And First Samuel, what we read last week, I'm just kind of doing a recap here so you guys understand.
Right.
They were sitting there, didn't want the meat to be seethed properly. They want to eat it raw. They weren't gonna take it by force. Here they are supposed to be offering oblations and offerings for the people,
Right.
for the forgiveness of their sin, and they were being thugs.
Right.
And then what was the one that detested me the most? They were sitting up there banging out women, having sex. Let's just say it right. Having sex with women right there in. It would be equivalent to having sex with women right there in the camp. And here they are, right outside where they're giving the offerings at.
Right.
Can you imagine this? But that's what we did. That's what we talked about last week. So to bring you up. So the Lord's looking at all this, man. You know, the Lord's looking at this like, what's going on? The prophet wrote about this, you know, and that's why you find it in 1 Samuel 4, of course. And but read about it. I told you last week it was a prophecy that it was going to happen, that they're going to lose their glory,
right,
because they didn't obey the Most High by keeping the commandments of the Most High. Read verse 4 and 17. We'll show you what happened as a result of their disobedience. Hophni and Phinehas, right? Go ahead.
This is 1 Samuel 4:17. And the messenger answered and said, Israel is fled before the Philistines.
Right.
And there have been also a great slaughter among the people.
Oh, man.
And thy two sons also, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead.
Are dead. Now, who are the Philistines? They sit up here battling with the Philistines.
Right.
And things should have been magnanimous and victorious because they got the Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
Follow me? You got that Ark of the Covenant. That's like we got the commandments of the Lord.
Right.
Right? It's an equivalent, man. But if you lose your glory behind it, that means, in other words, you know what the commandments are, but you're not doing them.
Right.
That's the idea. That's the gist of what this lesson is really saying.
Right.
Read. Because Hophni and Phinehas, who were they?
Two
sons of
Eli. Right.
Right? Any questions in the ark? I mean, questions. Any questions in the
we have
camp over there?
Sister Ashley checking in.
Sister Ashley checking in.
Yeah,
How's your mother? Go ahead. Who else?
Oh, that's it.
That's it. So we got a full house here today. I appreciate that. But this is what it is. The two sons of Hophni and Phinehas was supposed to be the Levites that were, you know, when they cut the lamb's throat and said, here's the blood for the sin offering. And people had to take that and get rid of put their sins on that. That was the symbolic meaning. Because, you know, back then, they didn't know. They just took it for the fact that, and that's in the Bible too, they took it for the fact that when they did this, the Lord forgave them of their sins. And he did.
Right.
You can tell because they won victories with this. But this time, they didn't win a victory. Philistine kicked their proverbial ass.
Right.
Read that again. It was a great slaughter, wasn't it? Verse 17. Go ahead.
And there have also been a great slaughter.
Where you at? Verse 17.
Oh, you want to start at the top?
Yeah, read 17. Or verse 17.
Verse 17. And the messenger answered and said, Israel is fled before the Philistines.
Yeah, they flying before them Africans, man, because they not supposed to be. They're supposed to be standing up there battling because they got the Ark of the Covenant behind them, right?
Right.
Go ahead, read.
And there have been also a great slaughter among the people, and thy two sons also, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead.
They're dead.
And
the Bible prophesies right there before that they would die.
Right.
And here it is. They did. And what happened? And what's the main thing going on here?
And the ark of God is taken.
And the ark of the Most High is taken. Man, do you understand what that means? What that meant back then? Anybody in the chat? We just talked about it. Anybody in the chat? What does it mean when the ark of God or the ark of the Most High is taken? What does that mean? You know, what does that really mean when that ark is taken, man? Back then, when they had that ark, what does it mean? What did it meant back then? And what does it what would it mean? What was it meant back then when that ark was taken? You know, what did that really equivalent? What was the equivalent of it being?
Right.
In other words, what did that mean to them?
Right.
Because they had, you know, they always brought the ark out every, you know, they brought it out on staves. The Levites did anyway. That was the glory, really.
Right.
But what did it mean? When it was taken, what did that mean to them? Anybody in the chat? This is a question. Probably pretty much give it away a little bit. Anybody?
Not yet.
In other words, what did it mean for Hophni and Phinehas dying? And the people, you know, you can imagine this, they looking at this and they saw that the Levites, go ahead.
They talking about they going to discontinue that one and make a new covenant.
Yeah, but they ain't there yet. They're not quite there yet at that point. They still back there battling with the, you looking at this because you have the ability to look at the new covenant, right? But I'm saying back then, when they had that Ark of the Covenant,
Mm-hmm.
what did that mean? You gotta understand, this is a real story.
Right.
This happened. Okay? Now, go ahead. Anybody? Anybody in the chat?
No, not yet.
Huh?
Not yet. Oh, let me see. It's like,
Okay,
oh, it's like,
go ahead.
it says here, Sister Sharad said, we lost the protection of the Most High. We will lose the war. Right.
That's the answer that that was represented in that ark. You know, although it had gopher wood and the things that was in Egypt, but it had the ark, it had the it had the commandments of the Most High.
Right.
So you lose that protection, you got no glory, right? No honor,
Right.
no abundance of riches, splendor, no fighting ability, no reverence. All of these things could happen because the ark was taken. All right. And now finish reading verse 18. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass when he made mention of the ark of God,
Right.
that he fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate.
Oh my God. It's talking about Eli, the sons of Hophni and Phinehas. I mean, the daddy of Hophni and Phinehas. When he heard this, he knew what it meant. Like the sister Sharab, she answered saying, what did she say again? What was the answer?
She said,
right.
She said, we lost the protection of the Most High.
We lost the protection of the Most High. You know, that's like you going back out into the world.
Right.
Now here you are, guy. Anything you've ever done. I mean, in other words, you didn't turn your jacket in. You lost the protection of the Most High, pretty much.
Right.
In other words, you got no glory, man. You just out there doing anything. Now you gonna become a sexy red out there. You're gonna start back smoking drugs, and you ain't got no protection. The Lord ain't gonna protect you.
Right.
You're gonna be subject to some judgment. Right? Finish reading. Well, what happened to Eli, the dad?
It's like
Read.
And it came to pass when he made mention of the ark of God,
Right.
that he fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate,
Right.
and his neck brake.
Neck break, man. And what happened?
And he died.
He died. Go ahead. Read.
For he was an old man,
Right.
and heavy,
Right.
and he had judged Israel 40 years.
Yeah, we've read this before, but I'm just kind of catching you guys up what happened. And so what happened there, read verse 19.
Verse 19. And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife.
That was the one, Phinehas, Hophni and Phinehas, the one that was sleeping with women right there in front of where the Ark of the Covenant was, in the tabernacle, where they were doing offerings and oblations for their sins. And he was doing everything detestable and wicked and all of that. And that's what you'll be doing out there in that world.
Right.
Speaking of which, that's what they're doing out there, worshiping all the holidays, right?
Right.
Valentine's Day. We'll get into that in a second. Here, go ahead. Finish reading.
And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife, was with child,
right,
near to be delivered.
Right.
And when she heard the tidings that the ark of God was taken.
Ark was what?
Was taken.
The ark was taken.
Right.
She heard this.
Right.
Now this is Phineas, the one of the evil priests, his wife having a baby.
Right.
Right? Finish read.
And that her father-in-law and her husband were dead.
The father-in-law, Eli,
right,
and Phineas, and her husband, and Hophni. They cleaned that family out there pretty much, right?
Right.
Read.
She bowed herself
right,
and travailed, for her pains came upon her.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, go ahead. Verse 20.
Verse 20. And about the time of her death, the woman that stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son.
All right. Go ahead. Finish up.
Her, and about the time of her death, the
Right.
woman that stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard
it. So this woman getting ready to have a baby. But go ahead, finish reading. Verse 21.
Verse 21.
Right.
And she named the child Ichabod.
What is that? Ichabod?
Ichabod.
Right. Go ahead. And what does his name mean?
Saying, the glory is departed from Israel.
The glory has departed. The protection is what it's saying, right?
Right.
Israel lost its honor, man. It's lost its honor, its protection. So when you break the commandments of the Most High, you're gonna lose your glory, your honor, your abundance, protection, anything that the Most High had to give to you at this time, splendor, reverence. You don't even reverence yourself. You don't even revere the Most High no more.
Right.
So you don't have any reverence for things that are a God anymore, because you lost the protection of the Lord. And you think that they ain't out there in the world, our people. We're talking about Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, right?
Right.
Because that's what this is related to, right?
That's right.
Go ahead, finish reading.
Because the ark of God was taken.
The ark of God was what?
Was taken.
When your ark of God was taken, you lose your glory. So where is your glory? Where at?
Right.
Right? Finish reading.
And because of her father-in-law and her husband.
Because of it was because of Eli,
right,
Hophni, and Phineas or Phineas.
Right.
The same way. In other words, when you lose, it's equivalent to saying like IUIC when they go out there and do their little purple lavender lads and all these other fake camps and all these other TD Jakes and all, because these are our people,
right,
but we don't claim them. There are people in Israel that do wicked things. But what this is saying, they go out, they lost their glory, shame, right? They lost their glory and their shame. Anybody in the chat got any questions?
No.
When you lose your glory, saying that's what she had. Ichabod. That's what it meant. Right. They lost their glory and their shame.
That's right.
They can't. And read verse 22.
Verse 22.
Right.
And she said, the glory is departed from Israel.
The what?
The glory is departed from Israel.
And when them lavender lads out there, they ain't got no glory.
Right.
But that back then, all the camps were together. Am I right, sir? All the camps were together, but right now, you ready to go, sir? But camps ain't got no glory
right
out there. But in here, in the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we have the glory up in here. We don't cry Ichabod, right?
Right.
We didn't cry that, right? Right. Go to verse 5. I'm sorry, chapter 5. We're going to show you here. Hold a second. Let me.
Okay.
Let's do something here. Okay. All right. Continue.
This is First Samuel.
Right.
5 and 1.
So far, where are we at? It's like like the Philistines had kept it at ark.
Right.
That's like they like back then, because you got to understand, they it's like Israel being caught, and the people are scared, man,
Right.
because they know that they didn't have the glory and protection of the Most High anymore, right?
Right.
That's why it's important for you to come into the ISBK under Commander General Yohana. This is the only place that actually teaches you. Am I right?
That's right.
That's the only place that will teach you to keep the commandments of the Most High. What does the other churches do, man? What are these? I'm sorry, not other churches. What does the other camps teach? Nothing. Homosexuality.
Right.
Sleeping with babies, 13 years old.
Right.
What else? A lot of things.
Right.
But what they don't teach is the commandments of the Most High. What is all the when I say all the church, what I meant was what is his name? TD Jakes. What he teach? That you can be gay and then ask for the Lord forgive.
Right.
Come on, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean gay. LGBT. I gotta be careful the words I say around. You can be LGBT, right?
That's right.
Whatever. But see, when the Lord tells you to do something, you know, Commander General Hans already said, gave order for all of the camps to come together and come in IHBK so you will be part of it. Look at what is that? Valentine's Day. Look at that. People going to be out there trying to worship that day, right? But go ahead. Let's read verse before we get into that. Verse 1. Read 7 verses there. Go ahead.
This is 1 Samuel 5:1.
Right.
And the Philistines took the ark of God.
They took it. These Africans, okay, come on now. They took the ark, their protection. They just took it.
Right.
Right? Almost like the same as Pharaoh did when he took us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
He took us, but he took the Philistines, these Africans, man, and over Philistine, they took the ark of the Most High. Go ahead, read.
And the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And the Philistines took the ark of God. They brought it out. It's like they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon.
And who is Dagon?
I have no idea.
That's one of the fish gods, isn't it?
Oh.
That's that Dagon. That's a god.
Right.
Okay, that's all it is. Dagon is one of their gods that the Philistines use. Because, you know, back then, they had all kinds of gods back then.
Right.
You know, they had a god for everything, sun, and when we talked about the days of the week,
right,
all named after gods, right? Even Valentine's Day is the god of Eros, right. And what is, you know what I'm saying? But if you go back to the god, it says a fish.
Right.
You know, if you look at the Pope's crown, it's got like a fish crown looking thing up there, right?
Right.
I don't get into depth with that, but you know what I'm saying? But the Philistine, it's a deity, man. It represented fertility, represented with the face and hands of a man with a fish tail. That makes sense?
That's right.
That's what it is. That's what the God is. And but they took it back to their God. Now you know what our ark of the covenant ain't got no business being with them. Our glory, like it's like our people. Imagine yourself out in the world unprotected.
Right.
Right? While they're sitting over there, got your God over there laughing and, you know, got a fish brought into that temple, you know, and start trying to use it like it's going to be power for them. See, they can't have our glory.
Right.
That's what this is saying. But when we say Ichabod, our glory is gone, this thing only worked. This is how you know this only worked for the children of Israel. So the glory of God, Dagon, or Dagon, that ain't gonna work for them.
Right.
This fish god, they took it over there and tried to say, I guess put some magic on it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it's gonna be for them. But anyway, they took it. Finish reading. Where are we at? Verse 2?
Verse 3.
Verse 3? Go ahead.
This is verse 3. And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow.
Ashdod is where their cities and where they took the Ark of the Covenant. Go ahead.
Right. Behold, the gun was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord.
What does this mean, man? Anybody in the chat know what this means? We'll give you a second there. Read that again.
Verse 3.
Yeah, read that again, right halfway through there. Go ahead.
And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, the gun was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord.
Okay, anybody know what that means in the chat? see if anybody know what that means. It's a question. We're reading 1 Samuel 5 and 3 halfway through. When they took our ark that represented and symbolized our protection, our glory, our abundance, our riches, man, our splendor, our reverence before the Most High, our forgiveness of sins that we had. That's all that they had, because it was appointed to man to have that, for to get rid of it was offerings and oblations, man, to get rid of their sins. They took that before their God. Right. But what does this mean here? Anybody?
Nothing yet.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and give you the answer. What it meant was they took this Ark of the Covenant. Their God is Dagon, some sort of statue with a fish head on it, and that statue fell down.
Right.
That's what it meant. It says Dagon had fallen upon his face. In other words, it didn't fall backwards, left, or right. It fell. Probably took the angels. Probably did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just flicked it. Say, fall, you false fish god.
Right.
And in other words, he was showing you that you don't have the authority to even have this thing, have this ark near this thing, Dagon, this God. You don't, the Most High showing you who's more powerful, right?
Right.
The same way he did when he let down when he was the snakes. What was that? Moses had his staff, and he put down his staff, and it became a serpent. And then the pharaohs had tried to use their magicians and their godlike powers.
Right. Yeah.
And what happened? The snake. Go ahead. What the snake? What?
The snake's staff turned into a snake, didn't it?
Right. But Moses' staff, which was now serpent, swallowed up.
Oh yeah, right.
See, the Lord has the power to make that a snake, a real one. It's showing Pharaoh that your little image or your little image can't bite nothing up here. You just scared, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what's going on. In other words, that's what the Most High showed them right here. The equivalent, like your Dagon don't mean nothing. Go ahead.
May the Lord show them a real magic trick.
Well, but not so much magic. He showed them real power and showed them that their magic don't fly up in here. Right. That's what it is. Okay. Finish reading that verse 3. I'm sorry.
And they took the gun and set him in his place again.
And then they stood the statue back up. All right, read verse 4.
Verse 4. And when they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, the gun was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord.
In other words, what did the Lord do? Push it over again, didn't he? Boom, get on over here, right? Because it can't let them know that we got this story so that we have privy to it to understand what happened.
Right.
So we show that our ark is more powerful than any other god.
Right.
The Most High, I am that I am.
Right.
right?
It's like,
Finish reading.
it's like, if I could.
Go ahead.
That's kind of heavy what you're saying, you know,
Right.
because it's like all the things that the Lord brought the children of Israel through and making that covenant with them. From Moses being up on Mount Sinai to having that staff and the serpent and all the commandments.
Right.
That, like y'all just explained, that's true power. And it can't be in the same area and not show up like that. That's why their gods was weak amongst that.
Well, the Most High had to do all this because the people, the ark is only as good as the people believed in it.
Right.
So the Lord had to go around and do all of that because the people, they had lost they Ichabod, man.
Right.
They ain't got no glory.
Right.
Right. I mean, it's just inanimate objects, but this kind, the Most High, I mean, you know, just bread. It's the faith that they put in that ark.
Right.
Because, you know, when the people came out and said, oh, man, when you even see this thing, you see the glory of the Lord was on that ark. That's the point I'm making.
Right.
That makes sense. Anybody in the chat over there?
No.
Any questions about pertaining to what we're reading here? Okay, finish reading.
And when they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, the God.
Did you read? Where you at?
I'll start from the top again on 4.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. You go ahead. I mean, not this. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Read.
And when they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, the God was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord. And the head of the God and both the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold. Only the stump of the God was left to him.
The Lord was showing you right here who's got the real power. But the Most High wanted to show you. That's what we're reading about. But back then, they didn't know what had happened to the ark, man. Right. They just knew the Philistines took it. But you can see what the Most High showing you that what he was doing to show even it was equivalent to showing like Pharaoh that you ain't got no power, man.
Right.
So he was showing the Philistines, African sane people, that you ain't got no power. We cut off your God's hand. We cut off, what is it? Cut off. We cut off his hands and what else? The palms and all that, right?
Right.
Read verse 5. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Therefore, neither the priest of the God nor any that come into the God's house tread on the threshold of the God in Ashdod unto this day.
That's right. Okay. Verse 6.
Verse 6. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod.
What does that mean? I mean, the Lord, that's what I'm saying, the hand of the Lord. It was the Lord doing this.
Right.
The Lord was taking and he was doing a havoc to Ashdod. Ashdod, those are the people of the Philistine, up in the Africans, where they had this God. I mean, where they had their gods, okay? They had brought our Ark of the Covenant there. So they ain't got no place being there.
Right.
So that was like an abomination.
Right.
The Most High made sure he took care of that. That's why he said, read that verse 6 again.
Verse 6. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he destroyed them.
He destroyed. Go ahead, read, man.
And smote them with emerods.
And what?
With emerods.
Hey, man, in the chat, tell me what that means. Anybody? This is a funny story right here. Yeah. Somebody in the chat, tell me what that means. Read that again.
It's like,
go ahead.
And he destroyed them and smote them with emerods, even Ashdod and the coast thereof.
That means everybody there, he smote them all with emerods. Anybody in the chat, tell me what this means. Look in the chat.
Not yet.
Because that's why you should be out there getting ready to worship this wicked Valentine's Day if you know what it meant. The Most High, he put a whooping on these Hamites up in here, man. That's why our people don't need to be out there.
Right.
You know, fooling around out there on trying to worship their Valentine's Day and all this stuff. You know, I don't want to get off track too much there, but that's what happens when the Lord tell you to do something out there, and you ain't got the power no more. Our people have lost the glory, and the Lord is showing you His power up in here. But anyway, what He did, anybody?
Lie.
What it meant was that He smoked them with hemorrhoids.
Right.
Anybody know what hemorrhoid is?
It's like
Put in the chat, what's hemorrhoid? Because it's saying hemorrhoid. Anybody know what that is? Medical people up in here? Them boils and sores on them. Huh? That's what the Lord did to them. Now, you know they had to give this ark back. Right?
right.
You know they had to do this, man. You know, they had to. They had to say, oh, man, we can't stomach this. No, we got to give that. In other words, give me the definition on hemorrhoids, man. Because this is a hill, a mound. But it's actually really a tumor or a hemorrhoid. It's a tumor. It's like small boils, small tumors on most places in your buttocks.
Right.
Hemorrhoids. Read that definition. This is what the Africans had. So you won't be judged of the Most High. You need to stay away from all of these other things out here, and you don't want your glory to be gone. So the Lord was trying to show you He was fighting to get this ark back, so we can have our glory.
Right.
People need to see that the Lord, when they took it and bring it back, the Lord was showing the people how it felt to be without their glory. That's what this story is about. Read that. What did He do to the Africans to give this ark back? What's hemorrhoids?
Definition of hemorrhoids, tumors or hemorrhoids.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. Simple as that, right? Can you imagine going around itching, burning, and anybody in the chat over there? Itching, burning with nothing? Huh?
No.
Anybody in the chat?
Lie.
Nobody saying that? And can you imagine going around with nothing? With having to back then, I don't even know if they had medicines for that.
Right.
The Africans said they were just sitting up there and live. Man, we gotta get rid of this stuff. We gotta send it back. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, that said the ark of the God of Israel shall not abide with us, for His hand is sore upon us.
So, in other words, what did the Africans say? The men of Ashdod, this is where they took our Ark of the Covenant. This is where the Hamites resided, and this is where the Philistines, the Hamites, and Ashdod. And they said, what did they say again? Read that.
And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said the ark of the God of Israel shall not abide with us.
No, we don't want this.
Right.
I'm tired of the hemorrhoids. Just like Pharaoh said, look, y'all take y'all goods and y'all vessels, take y'all ark or whatever you got with you and get the hell out of Egypt.
Right.
The same way they were saying, get out of Ashdod, take this stuff. In other words, they were getting ready to instruct their people. I'm ahead of that. They were going to instruct their people, get this thing out of here. They give me hemorrhoids, man. See, sometimes the Lord had to fight them where it counted. You give them Africans hemorrhoids and stuff like that.
Right.
You know they're gonna send this thing back, right? So finish reading.
For His hand is sore upon us, and upon the God, our God.
Mm-hmm. His hand is sore upon us.
Right.
In real time.
Yeah.
And the hemorrhoids He made sores upon them. But the Lord, in other words, the Lord wasn't playing around. He wasn't bull jiving around, man. Because He wanted Israel to get their glory back. That makes sense?
That's right.
How do you lose your glory, man? let's continue that. What's some things? A lot of people know this is serious stuff. Like we lost that glory. The Lord was fighting. He was there fighting, and he didn't have not one of us in there fighting. But he was going to bring our glory back to us by bringing that ark back, and then the people will straighten up a little, you know?
Right.
Because Hophni and Phinehas took the glory out. They took it out. Even his son was made, the son of this generation. And I bet if you look good enough and hard enough, you'll find that son even alive on this earth now. Not that son, but his generations rebelling against the Most High.
Right.
You know, might have been something, probably in some Christian church, teaching people not to obey the Lord, teaching people that they can eat pork, teaching people that they can eat crab and lobster,
right.
Teaching people that it's okay to worship a holiday, right?
Right.
That's how your glory is lost. That makes sense. Teaching your people that it's okay to receive. And what is Valentine? Valentine Day is nothing but, since we're on there, we'll touch on that. It's nothing but a day of named after the god Eros,
right?
Cupid, god of lust, right?
Right.
That's what it's teaching us. What the Most High don't want you to do. He wants you to get your glory back. That's why he don't want you to be out there slumming out there trying to Cupid and shooting arrows and getting chocolates and what else they do out there? Mints and
butts.
Huh?
And butts.
And it's Valentine's Day is a god that the Romans and the pretty much they would give they would let their men become homosexual because to fight for each other because they fought harder.
Right.
When they killed, I think he cut the heart out of their enemies and gave that heart, which is a Valentine symbol, and gave that symbol to their homosexual lover.
Right.
That's what the Romans did. You want that as Valentine's Day? This is what the Lord said. You know what glory is into that? So this is their gods. Let them practice their arrows. Let them practice their lusts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do you have something else?
No,
okay. No, that's what Valentine is. It's just a god of lust, man. And you worry about, well, where's my ring? Where's my chocolate? Oh, where's my heart? I see people sending little hearts in the chat like that means something, like I love you. Don't even know that's a god of eros, god of lust. Understand what you're doing, man. You don't understand what you're doing when you do something. Symbolically, understand what you're doing. Like that little heart, that little shaped heart right there. It looks like a heart. A heart don't look like that at all. A heart looks like just about like that.
Right.
But that little symbol is a picture of a woman's butt.
Right.
Turned up, ready for sex. And you say yourself, "Oh, didn't know that." Well, you know now.
Right.
God of lust.
Right.
Okay? Bring yourself back to reality, man. Grab your glory. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having sex with your husband and wife. Be fruitful and multiply. That's what the Lord said. But he didn't say go and be what did they say, power bottom and all that. And all that. He didn't say be no homosexual out there.
Right.
He didn't say, and he didn't even say, but anyway, that's what the Romans were doing. I think Claudius allowed that for his people, and that Valentine was the name of a man that wrote the. I didn't even want to get it all that. Why did I get it all that? Anybody check?
No.
It's just a history of homosexuality, really, man.
Right.
The god of lust, Eros. That makes sense?
That's what. Yeah.
Go ahead. And that's what they but Valentine, he was married to people in secret. And because they keep to make sure the men that's what Valentine's did.
Right.
And but they locked him up. Rome didn't like that because Romans ain't know what some homosexual anyway. And you know who the Romans are. That's Esau.
Easy.
I said that, Ken.
Easy, right.
That's Esau. And a lot of people say, oh, the Romans, Greeks too, man, all that stuff. That's what Valentine's Day represents. I'm touching on that because we're trying to get the glory back into Israel. So I'm talking to our people and showing you where it came from so you won't join those people.
Right.
That makes sense?
Right.
So you won't join the holidays. The Lord said, I despise your feast day. Give me Jeremiah.
Yep.
Jeremiah, what, 10? I despise your feast days. I despise Valentine's Day anyway. I don't your holidays and all of the Lord gave us holy day. We got a holy day right here and Sabbath service right here. So the Most High don't want you to go around out there practicing something like a Valentine's Day or in other words, you don't need to be crying Ichabod.
Right.
My glory gone. So that's pretty much what it is. Your thrill is gone. Your thrill out there somewhere. You go out there and get your thrill out there in the world. But when you get here in IHBK, sober up and understand who you are, man. So find out that we don't cry. We ain't no Ichabod up in here. Our glory gone.
Right.
Right? What is that? What's the Most High? He despises the feast days, doesn't he? Read that.
This is Amos 5:21.
Right.
I despise your feast days.
Lord hate that. He hate and despise your feast days, man. He don't love the fact that you go out there and try to imitate what the Roman soldiers did out there. That's pretty much what it is.
Right.
I mean, am I right or wrong?
That's right.
Hey, you going out there trying to imitate what the Roman soldiers done with their homosexual lovers by tearing their heart out of something. The people had that heart symbol to look like a woman's butt, and they think that that's the heart, and they think that that's so precious. You're worshiping a god of lust and a tradition, and you're worshiping a homosexual lovers that the Romans had.
Right.
By thinking they gave a heart is nothing but a muscle to pump blood, and they fought harder. As a matter of fact, I think the Romans, they used to fight. Oh my God, they used to go in there and wrestle naked.
Right. Yeah.
What kind of hell? Anybody comment that? Y'all call it. It's like how you gonna sit up there? That's why they made these arenas, man. For anytime you see stuff like that, look at football. What do they do now? They teach homosexuality. They pat each other on the behind, and basketball too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when I was playing sports, the guy did that. I said, "What the hell wrong with you, man? You don't ever touch my behind because you think I made a good shot. Get the hell out of here. These homosexuals, man, up in here. We don't practice that here in the IHBK.
Right.
If you part of that, you're going to be miserable up in here. You bring Valentine's Day up in here, you're going to be miserable. Don't send me no hearts.
Right.
Don't send me no chocolates. If I want to give my wife flowers, I'm damn sure ain't going to do it on Valentine's Day.
Right.
Don't be looking for no hearts. Don't be looking for no flowers. Don't be looking for no rings, no chocolates. You understand what I'm saying there, y'all? You don't do that. Pick another day.
Right.
I think that's next week, 14th, right? Like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the whole point. I mean, I want to touch on that. Did I get off base there? Let's get back to verse 5, verse 8. Right.
This is
Because the Lord's trying to get the glory back. Because right now, Ichabod is cried out in the camp. That means our glory. It means no glory. Read.
This is 1 Samuel 5:8.
Right.
They sent therefore and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them. And
They had a Sunday go meeting.
right.
Gather all of them. These Hamites, they ain't all together stupid. They said, let's gather all the Philistines together and do what? Read.
And said, what shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel?
Right. Read.
And they answered, let the ark of the God of Israel be carried out unto Gath. And they carried the ark of the God of Israel about thither.
Right.
Verse,
Get this thing out of here. Carry the gap. Read.
verse 9. And it was so that after they had carried it about, the hand of the Lord was against the city, with a great destruction.
Right. I think Gath is another one that was. That's what they had. That god, that tall giant
Right.
Goliath. I think he
Right.
was a champion of Gath.
Right. Right.
That's another Israelite. I'm sorry, Slovakia. That's another Hamite African city. Right. Finish reading.
And he smote the men of the city.
He smoked. In other words, he killed them. Go ahead, read.
Both small and great.
Right.
And they had emeralds in their secret parts.
He had emerald. He had them swords, them boils. Them Africans said, "Man, we hey, you know, the Ashdod, that city, that Hamite city, said, give it to Gath over there, man. Get this thing out of here, man. We sit over here scratching and in other words, in their secret part. Now, what's their secret part now? This ain't your fingernails. This ain't your hand. This down there in your genitals. And your buttocks and your genitals and women, you know, all them area. Can you imagine having bumps and sores and boils and pus coming out of all those secret parts down there?
Right.
But that's what these Africans had.
Right.
Because they were sitting up here holding on to this ark.
Right.
Trying to get rid of it. Read.
Verse 10.
Right.
Therefore, they sent the ark of God to Ekron.
Go ahead, read.
And it came to pass
Right.
that the ark of God came to Ekron,
Right.
that the Ekronites cried out, saying, they have brought about the ark of God of Israel to us to slay us and our people.
In other words, oh, go ahead.
No, I was like, so they must have heard what happened back in the other city.
Oh yeah, they heard. They done heard what happened to Ashdod. They done heard. What happened to. And these are lands. These are geographical areas. There are probably different people living there now. But they done heard what happened to Ashdod and to Gath. And now they're in Ekron saying, "Man, you brought this thing up here to slay us. We don't want no hemorrhoid.
Right.
Get this thing out of here right now." Them Hamites, I can see them right now. You know. Read.
Verse 11. So they sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines and said, send away the ark of God of the God of Israel.
Send away the ark of the Most High back here. They were saying God because they didn't know the Most High's name.
Right.
So go ahead, read.
And let it go again to his own place.
Right.
That is to his home place.
Send this thing back to the people whose glory is of Israel. Read.
And let it, it's like that it not slay us and our people.
Right. And send it away. Send it away. They had enough sense to understand that, see, the Lord wasn't playing around, man.
Right.
Because that thing can't exist. In other words, the Most High's power can't exist with the wickedness of abomination.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read.
For there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city.
There was a what?
There was a deadly destruction throughout all the city.
Deadly. Read.
The hand of God was very heavy there.
Lord ain't bull job. He ain't playing, man. In other words, get this hemorrhoid God out. That's why they looked at it.
Right.
All they doing is giving me hemorrhoids. Read. Giving the Africans hemorrhoids, right?
Right.
Read. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And the men that died not were smitten with the emeralds.
If they didn't die, they did what?
They were smitten with the emeralds.
They gonna wish they were dead, right?
Right.
All right, go ahead. Read.
And the cry of the city went up to heaven.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And the
chapter
it's like chapter 6.
Tell people where you are.
Says 1 Samuel 6:1.
Right. Go ahead.
And the ark of the Lord was in the country of the Philistines 7 months.
7 Shabbat.
Right. Shabbat.
Right?
That's right.
7 months, bro. Right?
Right.
Read.
Verse 2. And the Philistines called for the priests and the diviners, saying,
Who are their priests and the diviners? Who is that?
It's like a good.
Go ahead.
It's like the priests, like that. There are people that they see as religious and try to, I say, almost like the magicians back in Egypt or something like that.
It was. That was their diviners, like the divining rods and the magicians, man,
Right.
the soothsayers and the people who perform magic.
Right.
That's what the Philistines had.
Right.
Because they sitting up there scratching too.
Right.
And there's other words, ain't nothing I can do for you. Because the same as back in Pharaoh day.
Right.
Read.
What shall we do with the ark of the Lord?
Right.
Tell us wherewith we shall send it to his place.
To his place, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Well, they had another meeting.
Right.
What we gonna do with this thing, man? I'm tired of these hemorrhoids. These Africans, they're gonna get rid of this thing. Go ahead, read.
Verse 3. And they said, if ye send away the ark of God, ark of the God of Israel, send it not empty, but any wise return him a trespass offering.
In other words, we sorry.
Right.
We sorry. Read.
Then ye shall be healed, and it shall be known to you why his hand is not removed from you.
Right. In other words, they were. Go ahead.
I said they knew better.
Yeah, of course. They had learned.
Right.
Well, them hemorrhoids had taught them.
Right.
You got enough bumps. Them Africans had enough bumps and sores on them. They understood. Just like their firstborn was killed in Egypt.
Right.
Now these Africans right here, the Philistines said, man, I don't want these hemorrhoids. Oh, see, early back in the story, they had read about what happened in Pharaoh's days of Egypt. They knew, I'm pretty sure they got on the phone and talked to Pharaohs over there.
Right.
And them people pop. Why do you think they were scared when the children of Israel when they had the glory in the camp? Why do you think they were afraid when they took this thing and brought it before them to fight? The Philistines were scared.
Right.
And they kept finding out that they kept beating them. So they figured they could take this ark.
Right.
But you can't. And when they took it, they found out now, oh man, I got hemorrhoids. So what happened? Because the glory of God, the glory of the Most High, had left the camp.
Right.
That's why they were able to take it in the first place.
Right.
Okay? This is like your glory. Nobody take your glory unless you give it to them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Unless the Lord intervenes and say, go. Take this glory away.
Right.
You know? All you got to do is sit up there and keep the commandments of the Most High. No one's going to make you eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. No one's going to make you go sleep with all these whores and prostitutes. No one's going to make that woman go and lay down on Valentine's Day in a hotel. She got a husband at home.
Right.
Nobody's going to make that happen. Right?
That's right.
You know, read.
This is verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then said they, what shall be the trespass offering which we shall return to him?
Now they want to give a trespass. I'm sorry offering.
Right.
Read.
They answered, 5 golden emeralds
Mm-hmm.
and 5 golden mice.
Mm-hmm. In other words, this was gold. They shaped it like an emerald. Read.
According to
Emeralds.
right.
Go ahead.
According to the number of the lords, it's like of the lords of the Philistines.
Mm-hmm.
For one plague was on you all and on your lords.
Right. That was their representation of saying we'll give them some gold.
Right.
Pretty much. Go ahead, read.
Verse 5.
Right.
Wherefore ye shall make images of your emeralds.
Golden. In other words, just make this thing look like an hemorrhoid. Can you see how Africans think, man? Can you see how these foolish?
That's ridiculous.
I'm worse than hemorrhoid. Now I bet you go in their customs. I bet you can find. I ain't looking.
So like it.
Go ahead.
When me and Niall just looked up emeralds, we saw how the gold look.
Right.
You want to pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up.
Let me pull it up.
Oh, sad, man.
That is crazy.
Put that up there. Yeah, hemorrhoid. They Can we cue that up? We're gonna show you what this gold hemorrhoid looked like. Because there was the images. I said that's what the hemorrhoids are, mice and gold, and they fashioned it. That's what they're saying. They want to ever forget that this hemorrhoid plagued them.
Right.
And Ashdod, where's that at? Gath and that other city. Can't remember what that was. But that's what it is, right?
Right.
You brought it up
Okay, right.
in the chat. Now, there it is right there. People share that. Y'all look at this and what this mice in the chat. This is what the Africans gave back as a trespass offering to Israel and put it in the cart. And these they were real solid gold, but this is how they think of their gods.
Right.
These were gods to them. Mice, can they see it in the chat? Anybody got any comment on that?
Nah.
Look at that emerald. You see that emerald? That's what that looked like on their body.
Right.
That mice, oh my God. I guess that was another one of them gods. But look at that emerald. That little bump. That's what was on their genitals. That was on the African women's genitals. I mean, around their private parts and the man's genitals. Right?
Right.
You see, this is what it is. In other words, show them. In other words, this is what that thing did to us, and we're gonna show you. We don't want this.
Right.
Finish read. Where we at? Verse 5. You read that?
Okay, I'll stop from the time. I kind of lost it. It's like, wherefore verse 5. Wherefore ye shall make images of your emeralds.
And that's the image that we're showing you right there. Read.
And images of your mice that the mar the land, and ye shall give glory unto the God of Israel.
Right.
Peradventure, he will lighten his hand from off you.
In other words, Lord, will you remove your hand? We don't want no more of them emeralds up in there.
Right.
Finish read.
And from off your gods, and from off your land.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, read.
Verse 6. Wherefore ye do the harden of your hearts as the Egyptians.
See?
All right.
Right there.
Yeah.
In other words, that same parallel story that they did. The Lord is protecting us by making a mockery. I mean, they tried to take our art. And the Lord said, all right, you want to do that?
Right.
You know, because we see our people up there sitting in tents, ashamed of themselves, their glory gone. But let me show you who the power of the Most High is. Read.
It's like, wherefore then do ye harden your hearts as the Egyptians, and Pharaoh hardened their hearts.
Right.
When he had wrought wonderfully among them, did they not let the people go, and they departed?
Lord showing his power, man.
Right.
Go ahead, read.
It's like we got a comment from
What's the comment?
From Captain Noctis. He said, "Excellent service."
Right. Oh yeah, clap that right there. Damn hemorrhoid. Hey, God, there's no hemorrhoid, man. I appreciate that, Captain. A lot. But read.
Right.
Verse 7. I appreciate that. Go ahead. Verse 7.
Okay. Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore make a new cart and take two milch kind, on which there hath come no yoke.
In other words, these are like baby. Look, take some, make this cart and take these cattle. In other words, some it's going to show you how it's going to be done.
Right.
How this cattle is taking going to take this ark back. Read.
Right. And tie the kind to the cart,
right,
and bring the calves home from them.
In other words, take the calves,
right,
that they had away, because they know when they do that, they're going to come back home to them calves.
Right.
Right. Go ahead, read.
Verse 8. And take the ark of the Lord and lay it upon the cart, and put the jewels of the gold, it's like of gold, which ye returned him for a trespass offering.
Right. In other words,
in a coffer by the side thereof,
right,
and send it away that it may go.
Right. Those Africans took this, put that cart, and they did this because they wanted to get rid of this ark,
right,
of that represented our glory.
Right.
But the people got to be into it. We got to be into it. That's why you can't go out here and join no fake root. You can't go out here in no church and sit down and worship on Valentine's Day that's coming up. You can't do that, man. And in the ISBK, we don't have provisions for cowards like we read last week.
Right.
And the week before that, part 1 and 2. We don't have no provisions for cowards, man. We in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General Yohana, start off 1969. You should never let your glory pass from you.
Right.
That's the problem. So the Lord is saying, I'm gonna bring this cart back to you. Because the people at home in the tent shaking.
Right.
They shaking, man. In other words, them fake camps out there shaking. Because they ain't got no glory.
Right.
Where that glory found at?
Right now,
Right here in ISBK.
That's right.
It's found right here. Right?
Right.
Go ahead. What them Hamites doing? Let's wrap this up. What them Hamites did, right?
This is verse 9.
Yeah.
And see if it goeth up by the way of his own coast,
right,
to Beth Shemesh.
Right.
Then he hath done us this great evil. But if not, then we shall know that it is not his hand that smote us.
Right.
It was a chance that it happened to us.
Right. In other words, they were testing this cart to make sure it go back home.
Right.
Pretty much. Go ahead, read.
Verse 10. And the men did so, and took the milch kind and two milch kind, and tied them to the cart, and shut up their calves at home. Right.
In other words, they know what's getting ready to happen.
Right.
They're gonna follow that.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 11.
Right.
And they laid the ark of the Lord upon the cart, and the coffer with mice of gold.
Well, you know the glory was gone because them filthy Hamites wouldn't have been able to touch this anyway.
Right.
The Lord permitted that. Right. Y'all go ahead and pick it up because they had to. I still don't get it there. Right. Because before, if you touched that ark back then, if our people touched it when the glory was upon that,
oh yeah, you go.
You dead.
Right.
Only the Levites and the specified Levites that can go and lift that up.
Right.
So you know those filthy Hamites would touch that.
Right.
But the Most High did allow this to happen.
Right.
They want to get rid of them hemorrhoids, man. Go ahead, read.
And the coffer with the mice of gold and the images of the emeralds. Verse 12.
Right.
And the kind took the straight way to the way of Beth Shemesh, and went along the highway, lowing as they went, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. And the lords of the Philistines went after them unto the border of Beth Shemesh. Verse 13. And they of Beth Shemesh were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley, and they lifted up their eyes and saw the ark and rejoiced to see it.
Okay, where we at? What verse?
Verse 14.
Okay, yeah, read that again. I'm sorry.
Verse 13. And they
you at? Verse what?
I'm at 14.
Okay, read. We gonna read 14?
Oh.
What verse are you reading?
You asked me to read verse 13 again?
No, just what verse were you on? I'm sorry.
I was on 13. It's like, but I'm on 14 now.
Okay, go ahead, 14. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 14. And the cart came into the field of Joshua.
Joshua? Who was Joshua?
If I could, Joshua was the one the Lord chose after Moses.
That's right. And Joshua was the one that took him, that was going to take them all the way to come to the Israel.
Right.
Okay. To come to the promised land.
Right.
And because the rest of the people had died off. You listen to the sons of that.
Right.
Of the people that had died. Right.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, the sons of the, because they wandering around, man, 40 years. Right.
Right.
And the cart came up to the field of who?
And the cart came into the field of Joshua, a Beshemite, and stood there, where there was a great stone, and they clave to the wood of the cart, and offered the kind a burnt offering unto the Lord.
The Lord, they were thankful then, right?
Right.
Some glory was trying to get up in there, right?
That's right.
In other words, that's almost like a repentance time for them.
Right.
Like, man, I'm sorry, Lord, that I did. There's other people. Joshua looking at it like he knew.
Right. Yeah.
You know, when the glory is coming to come back to Israel, man. He knew our people now, just like we knew. Just like if you come off that street there and say, I don't worship no Valentine's Day no more. I don't want that no more. You come up in HBK, then we have no choice but to accept you.
Right.
If you want to be a priest and prophet of the Most High. And if you got the women that want to come in and stop being a whore.
Right.
Right. We'll accept you just like they accepted that ark on back, that glory had come back.
Right.
In other words, we're gonna show you how to be. We're gonna show you how the glory can come back to you. Right.
Right.
But where your glory at?
All right.
Where is that? That's the title, right?
That's right.
Where's your? Why you sitting up there crying, Ichabod, no glory, right?
Right.
And so in other words, come on back up in here. Come and get into the Israelite School of Universal Practicality. You won't have to sit up there and worry about being ashamed out there with all of that foolishness that they're doing out there,
right?
And worshiping hearts. And feast days that you ain't got no business, Thanksgiving and Christmas and Valentine's Day. Right? This ark came back. Finish reading this ark, then came back and did what?
And the ark came into the field. It's like, and the ark, you want to read from top? It's like,
yeah.
And the ark, it's like, and the cart came into the field of Joshua,
right,
a Bethshemite, and stood there, where there was a great stone, and they clave the wood of the cart and offered the kind of a burnt offering unto the Lord.
Right. And what happened? The Levites did what?
In verse 15, and the Levites took down the ark of the Lord and the coffer that was with it, wherein the jewels of the gold were, and put them on the great stone. And the men of Bethshemesh offered the burnt offerings and sacrifices and the same day unto the Lord.
In other words, they offered a sacrifice.
Right.
Glory coming back in there. Read.
Verse 16. And when the five lords of the Philistines had seen it, they returned to Ekron the same day.
In other words, them 5 Hamites, they've seen that. Man, we done got rid of that ark.
Right.
We don't want to do that no more.
Right.
They knew better. All right, go ahead.
Verse 17.
Right.
And these are the golden emeralds which the Philistines returned for a trespass offering unto the Lord. For Ashdod 1, for Gaza 1, for Askelon 1, for Gath 1, and for Ekron 1.
All of them gave them gold.
Right.
Go ahead, read.
Verse 18. And the golden mice, according to the number of the cities of the Philistines, belonging to the 5 lords, both of fenced cities and of country villages, even unto the great stone of Abel, whereon they set down the ark of the Lord, which stone remaineth unto this day.
That stone's there then.
Right.
Somewhere.
In the field of Joshua and the Bethshemite.
That's there. In other words, until this day, that stone's still there. Somewhere.
Right.
Read.
Verse 19.
Let's wrap this up. Go ahead.
And he smote the men of Bethshemesh because they had looked into the ark of the Lord.
There you go. See.
He still got it.
You see, the Lord did this, man. This was the Lord all alone working for us, and we sitting up there just intense trembling because we ain't got no glory.
Right.
Read. Because we sitting up here. When you see a person out there, man, out there with no glory, Ichabod, right? No glory, man. They're usually doing something that's evil.
Right.
They usually, that's why we read and show you how our people need to come on back to the Lord, man. We need to get that glory back into us, man.
Right.
You know, that's our people out there on the street. That ain't, like I said, when you out there slumming, you know, get in here and understand what the Most High really wants for your life, right?
Right.
Okay. Finish reading verse 19. Where we at? Middle of it?
Okay. Even he smote of the people 50,000 and 70 men. And the people lamented because the Lord had smitten many of the people with a great slaughter.
They cried. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And the men of Bethshemesh said, who is able to stand before this holy Lord God?
Right.
And to whom shall he go up from us?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21. And they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kirjath-jearim, saying, the Philistines have brought again the ark of the Lord.
That's right.
Come ye down and fetch it up to you.
Man.
Right.
Right. And then we're gonna stop here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna pick the story of 1 Samuel chapter 7.
Right.
And we're gonna show you. We're gonna get back to that next week, where the ark is being returned, right?
Right.
Because they we're gonna show you how this ark came back, and the people are going, and bring the glory back into the Lord, right?
That's right.
And that we're going in Samuel now, it's talking, because this is the book of Samuel, right? Moses is writing what happened in Samuel's days, right?
Right.
That's why he's good. And Samuel's going to be speaking, man, to the house of Israel, saying,
right,
if you do return the ark to the Lord, all your hearts, and put your strange gods, and put away your strange gods. Matter of fact, read that verse 3 there before we go.
So like,
read that.
Which
7 and 3.
7 and 3. Okay.
This is what Samuel said. Read. We're gonna talk about this next week. Go ahead, read.
Like this is 1 Samuel 7 and 3.
Right.
And Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel, saying, if ye do return to the Lord with all your hearts,
all your mind, right?
Right.
Put away all that Valentine's Day and sexy red stuff out there.
Right.
Read.
Then put away the strange gods.
What strange gods? All them gods that these other nations had.
Right.
Right? In this case, we're talking about Valentine's Day too.
Right.
Right? Read.
And Ashtaroth from among you.
That's right.
And prepare your hearts unto the Lord.
Prepare your minds unto the Lord. Get right.
Right.
Get out of get it. Lavender lads, put your robes down and get up in IGPK.
Right.
TD Jakes, throw away your whatever you got up in there.
Right.
And get up into the IGPK. Get your mind right. Go ahead, read.
And serve him only.
Serve him what?
Only.
Not these other gods. Go ahead.
And he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines.
He'll deliver you out of these other nations out here.
Right.
Let's clap it for clap. Right. We're gonna get back into this 1 Samuel 7, right? Mark that for me, right? Next week. Any comments over there? Right. We're gonna get back into this, and we're gonna continue on a module. All right. There you go. I mean, go ahead and go on. Right.
Like.
Sorry.
So, Wapahakwim, which means turn the face in the Hebrew. It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malafaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaik, Hayah, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamaya, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalakina, Kabawatina, Kasalakina, Kabawatina, Wala'ah, Tabayayana, Banasayawan, Abal, Hayasayana, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wahala, Wahatapar. It's like Aman. Like when we said in the Hebrew, we say in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. But thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, the power in Hebrew. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kashai, Nathananao, Hakak, La Pa'ah, Karmalakah, Wakamanawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarium, Hakak, La Hakwim, Hamatim, Hakak, Ara Aqua, Hamata'ala, La Garshin, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, the water. Amen. And what we said in Hebrew, saying in English, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. It says, bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Baraknau, Wahasha'ala, Wahabayath, Saparium, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magun, Hagun, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, the water. Amen. And what we said in the Hebrew, saying in English, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us in Israel, in the school. Bless, heal, shield, and protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. It's Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, all, Hahariah, Mahayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Waharatnasa, Ayathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Ayai, Yamnyanka, Yamamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makorai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Waba'aka, Ma'aita, Wa'ai, Awalam. And what we
I will lift up mine eyes, to the hills. From which cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. Who made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is a shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve
He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
It's Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Adamaya, Laka, Atakarash, Wa Alta Shakwat, Oh, Kayahana, Awabadika, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Alamaka, Yarmawa, Sawada, Wayata, Yatasawa, Altasapawayaka, Armawa, Lakawa, Wanakakidim, Makawai, Wala'a, Yasakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Awada, Kaya, Natasawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Bariyath, Yakawatwa, Alahaya, Adawam, Wayashamai, Allah Yam, Wa'amaba, Wahagarim, Gabal, Wa'amawan, Wa'amalak, Palashath, I'm Yashabya, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Amayim, Hayawa, Zawawai, Nabana Lawat, Salah, Asha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya Sarah, Kasaya, Sarah, Kamadian, Banakal, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayan, Da'ara, Haya, it's like it, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayatama, Nada, Ya, Mawa, Kairab, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kalna Yasakama, Ashar, Armawa, Nasharashah, Nalawa, Ath, Nahawath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Sayatawa, Kagaya Gaga, Kakwash, Lapanya, Waraka, Kaash, Ira, Wakalabaha, Dalahat, Haharium, Kan, Daradakma, Wasa Iraka, Wabasa, Wabatka, Dabalaham, Mala'a, Panaham, Kwalawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahalawa, Yada Ai, Waya, Kapawa, Waya, Abanawa, Waya, Dawai, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahweh, Nabatka, Ayawan, Al, Kal, Haratazah.
What we said in Hebrew, we said in English. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
have
lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty
against
counsel.
thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
Consulted
ones.
against thy hidden
They
ones.
have said, Come. Let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom, Ishmaelites of Moab, Hagarine, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre, who also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. To the Midianites. As to Syria. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kassan. Which perished at Endor. And become as dung for the earth. Make them nobles like a ram. Like Ziam. Yea, all the princes of Zabah. And Amunah. Who said, Let us take to ourselves houses of God. Possession. Oh my Yahweh, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire that burns a wood, as the flame that set the mountain on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh, let them be confounded, and trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, the Most High,
of all the earth.
Sorry. Scrolls down. Oh, sorry. So let's just move to it. Lock it. How about Shem Yavshai Brakah?
Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakah. Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakah.
This includes put this knife. Let's go down. If not, let's close our class. Anybody in the chat? Any comment? Okay, all minds and hearts are clear. Let's close out the class. Madu Shabbat. Madu. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakah.
Yamata. Sar. For the sisters. Let's salute out the sisters. Madu Shabbat. Madu. Barak.
Yahweh Shemala Thabah Shem Yahshai.
Yamata. Class dismissed.